All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to this policy Manthan of today. Thank you all for joining. I'm glad you all joined. Now, the topic we have for today is an extremely crucial one. But before we start that, I'll just go through the guidelines once. Whenever you all speak, you're supposed to speak with the cameras turned on. You're supposed to sit at a place with no disturbances and a stable internet connection so that it does not disrupt the session in any way. And you're supposed to maintain decorum at all stages of the session and keep your mics muted whenever you are not speaking and when the other person is speaking. And I hope to have a really engaging session with you all. All right. Today I won't be able to turn my camera on. My internet bandwidth is extremely low due to the bad weather. But I hope you all will switch on your camera whenever you all are speaking. It will make the session more engaging and more fun. Now, coming to the topic we have for today is an extremely interesting one. If technology was banned in India, how would it impact the education system? Now, imagine a world where technology is suddenly banned in India. Classrooms with no smart boards, no online learning, and textbooks as the only source of knowledge. So now this thought-provoking scenario requires a lot of practical thinking, and it challenges us to reflect on how deeply technology has shaped the modern education and how we can find alternatives for it if technology was suddenly banned. So let's begin. Anyone who's volunteering to be the first speaker, please raise your hand. Kajal, great. You can turn on your camera and please go ahead.
And can you see me?
Yes, Kajal.
So, if technology were to ban in India, the first major shift will go towards the traditional teaching methods, which will require more extensive teacher training. As without technology or PowerPoint or smart boards, teacher training would enhance the way the education system would work. Also, we could if technology is banned, we could gain more face-to-face interaction. Like in the starting you said, we have to open our cameras. So to understand a thing better, uh, a face-to-face interaction is more important, uh, which gives an idea that the other person is listening and what we are saying has an importance. It will increase the face-to-face interaction and reduce the distraction, especially with the use of these meets app like Google Meet or Zoom, which has, especially after the COVID-19, technology has been used readily in education system. With also the government is introducing various things to increase the digital literacy. But if it is banned in India, it will require an extensive uh, training for teachers and human capital. Also, we have to work especially for the vocational skills so that the children can gain hands-on experience without being visualizing something. Instead, they'll get an hands-on experience to think, which can be only done if the teachers or the educators are more extensive in what they do and have the knowledge in what they are teaching. So, but today's in today's time, it is very difficult to separate between technology, especially in education sector, uh, because it will lead to less exposure or accessibility. Uh, in a way, it will largely affect the education system, but uh, it is very difficult to separate. But as an idea, if we see the basic basic shift will be towards the traditional learning methods. For that, this is what my idea is of the topic.
Okay, Kajal, thank you so much. Anyone who's willing to be the next speaker, please raise your hand. Okay, Latika, please go ahead. Please turn on your camera. After Latika, we'll have Deepika.
Am I audible?
Yes, Latika, perfectly audible and visible. Please go ahead.
Okay. So hello everyone. To begin with, technology did not play a very significant role in the initial years in our Indian education system. It was only during the COVID-19 period and the post-pandemic period that we have seen a surge in the use of technology in our education system. For instance, we no longer have holidays on occasions of heavy rainfall. Instead, we have online lectures, which was not a scenario in the period before COVID-19. Similarly, assignments are not always written nowadays. Sometimes we are only asked to watch a documentary on YouTube and study it and come to class the next day. Similarly, connecting with teachers have become easier due to the formation of Google Classrooms, etc. So all these changes are a result of the pandemic, which somehow continued even in the post-COVID-19 period. Now, what would happen if technology was banned in India? Of course, it will lead to a lot of inconveniences in the initial stage due to the over reliance on technology from both the parties, the teachers as well as students. However, I would like to highlight the positive outcomes if such a ban were to take place. Number one would be interactive learning. Learning can become more interactive in the absence of technology because it has been seen that in some instances, teachers are getting replaced by YouTube videos and online tutorials. So such a ban will lead to an increased effort from both the parties, teachers as well as students. Um, Number two would be the impact on assignments. It is seen that nowadays assignments are completed not by students themselves, but through AI chatbots like ChatGPT or through the search engines. So this will have a positive impact on the learning curve of students because when assignments are given, the motive is that students go and look up for the topic and at the same time also come across some other topic that they don't know. So to learn beyond the college or the school curriculum. So the purpose is defeated when students use search engines and chat GPT, etc. So it will have a positive impact on this aspect. Traditional teaching and learning skills will come back, as was said by the previous speaker. Um, Such a ban can bring back traditional teaching skills where board, chalk, and a teacher's knowledge echoes in the classroom instead of some videos shown on projectors. It has been noticed that due to the advent of technology, students are often distracted, which has a negative impact on their learning curve. So, this issue will also be resolved. And lastly, which I find more very crucial, is social intelligence. The ban will also have an impact on students' social intelligence. It is seen that due to increased reliance on online interactions, we find that many times students are unable to have even a simple conversation with someone. Social intelligence goes much more beyond that. So, such a ban can improve their social skills, I feel. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simran. Anyone who has any questions or any opinions to present? Simran, is the hand raised for a question or an opinion? All right. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none. Simran, was your hand raised for the speech?
Yes, I was raising my hand for the speech.
Okay, Deepika was supposed to go after Latika. Simran will have you after Deepika.
Okay, okay.
All right. Deepika, are you Deepabali? Okay. Deepika, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So, according to UNESCO's Global Education Monitoring Team, out of 60 education systems, they have enacted bans on smartphones. Also, till 2024, 19 more will be joining to them. To total to 80% of total registered education systems have banned smartphones in the school. So India does not have specific law regarding smartphone uses in educational system or any technology-based instrument in school times, in school hours. So we are just forcing technology into every activity which are being followed in school times. These technologies instruments are just distracting students from developing their critical thinking and focusing on what faculties are teaching. Well, technology should be also understood in a broader sense that it is just it without it the future is just impossible. Okay, so the some methodology that we can follow. Oh, so sorry. The some methodology that we can follow in place of technology can be which can be similar to traditional methods like bringing back the books. Students should be more focusing on learning from the book itself rather than searching it on chat gpts or ais. Like they should be given such works that include more uses of books like searching it in dictionaries, encyclopedia, which need a lot more research to like search things into. Also then there can be some quizzes or poster making, songs, journal writing, which can lead to creative thinking into the student rather than searching them into some smartphones. Also, teachers should focus on things like that. Every subject is connected to the world itself, whatever we are learning, be it science or be it math. Maths is directly related to abacus or arts in it. Also, science is related to English. So whatever the teachers are teaching, they should make the subject so interactive that students do not need other alternatives to learn for it. Okay. Also the if science is being taught to students, they should be taken to zoos, botanical gardens, so that students are really interactive in the classes itself. That's all I would like to say. Thank you.
Perfect, Deepika. Thank you so much. Any opinions or questions for Deepika? Anyone? You can raise your hand. All right.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, Avradeep.
I have a question to Deepika. As Deepika just showed the statistics,
Please turn on your
starting. Hello.
camera. Avradeep. All
Hello.
right. Perfect. Please go
I
ahead.
have a question to Deepika. That Deepika recently showed us statistics, maybe from UNESCO. So there, he showed that in the maximum schools in India, the smartphone was banned. So can we compare this the ban of smartphone in the schools with the ban of technology in our education system?
I'm sorry, I can't get your question.
Hello.
Yes.
I,
Avradeep and Deepika, please first both turn on your camera. And then Avradeep, you can then go ahead repeat your question. All right, perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
should I ask again, Deepika?
Can you please repeat it?
Okay, okay. You showed recently a data of maybe from UNESCO, which
Yes.
state that the in the maximum school of India, the smartphone was banned by the authority. Okay, so can we compare this the smartphone banned in the school with the ban of technology in our education system entirely? Because in the maximum time in our home, our tuitions, we use a smartphone, internet, and AI tools. So how you connect this with the banned in school, banned in smartphone in the schools?
The data that I depicted was of globally, not of only India. Also, I just wanted to depict from my data that the smartphone ban should only be in school hours. I'm not talking about house hours. Like sometimes we need technology for that. But in the school, as from after COVID, I have realized that students have started taking their mobile phones to schools, which was not necessary. So I was just referring that in the school time, the smartphone usage should be really banned in that hours so that they do not need smartphone at that time. That's what I would like to say.
Yes, but actually, in the during the school time, the maximum students don't use smartphone for the education purpose. So it is the another perspective, according to me, that banned in schools, smartphone in the schools from the education purpose.
Yeah,
Maybe I am
that's
wrong.
true. They should not be taking smartphones only, no?
Yes, okay. Thank you for it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Avaldi, for the question, and thank you so much, Deepika. Next, we have Simran. Simran, you can go ahead.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Sunil Mavi, and if I would start with 4 points, I wrote down 4 points, major 4 points. So, if technology were to be banned in India, the impact on the education system would be severe and far-reaching. The major four problems that would arise, according to me, will be first will be the online platforms like Byju's and Academy, and also the government initiatives such as Diksha would be stopped, cutting off the quality education for millions of students, especially those in the remote and rural areas. Second point would be the modern teaching tools like smart classrooms, digital boards, and audiovisual aids would no longer be available, forcing a return to outdated teaching methods. Third would be the absence of technology would worsen the educational inequalities, particularly affecting students with disabilities who depend on assistive devices. Fourth would be the research and academic collaboration would also suffer due to the loss of access to global knowledge and digital resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Simran. Anyone who has any opinions or questions for Simran? Anything which you'd like to share? Okay, seeing now, we'll move on to the next speaker. Deepavali, are you ready? I guess you were raising your hand.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. In this case, I think banning of technology will have both some positive and negative consequences in education system in India. If we see the first side of it, then banning of technology will improve the focus of students, and they will surely get one thing less to distract themselves. Tech absence will force the students to tap on their own mind and to become self-reliant thinkers and learners. As we all know that technology has created a dominant place in every student's life and has limited the students to use their own critical thinking abilities. Without technology, they might rely more on textbooks and traditional teaching methods and etc. But even after all these things, banning the technology will surely have a very negative consequences in the education system in India, especially at this time when we are growing. Like if the whole world is using technology to boost their economy, then India also has to participate in the same line, especially for a 21st century economy. Banning technology in India will create a digital gap between us and the outer world. Like talented students may seek education abroad and depriving India from great future leaders. And a workforce which is unprepared for digital economy could slow down the national growth. And richer region may find some alternative solution like private tutoring, etc. While poor areas might fall behind this, and this will create a kind of inequality in education system. And learning will also become impossible in a time of any kind of crisis like we had faced once in the COVID-19 pandemic. That time, technology was there to help both teachers and students to stay connected and allowed them to continue their academic journey without fail. And banning technology will also limit the resources, and there will only be static content with no real time updates. Like there will be limited exposure to global knowledge and innovation. And lastly, as a conclusion, it can be said that technology ban can encourage some valuable old school learning practices, but they still cannot match the flexibility, accessibility, and engagement that technology provides us. It will further will widen the education inequality. It will reduce exposure to global ideas and lower the country's competitiveness in tech-driven world. So, in order to counter all these problems, we all have to think very effectively. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepavali. Those were great insights and opinions. Anyone and with any questions or anything which they can share for the rest of us? Anyone with any questions or opinions? All right, seeing none, we'll be moving on. Anyone willing to volunteer to be the next speaker, please raise your hand. People who'd like to go next. Iksha, Iksha, are you there? Iksha, seeing no response. Vaishnavi, 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 are you there? Vaishnavi, last call. All right. Avradeep,
Yes, ma'am.
are you ready? Can you go next?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Please go ahead.
Actually, according to me, uh, we have to think before the 2015 when the digital India did not come in our country, and mainly the before the COVID-19 when the online education is not familiar in the India, mainly the rural sectors and the tier 2, 3 cities. I have to remember, we have to remember that how then the education system was running. Okay, so I hope that there will be no such problem if the technology was banned by the authority of the government, but I hope there is some problems, yes, obviously, and I hope there will be some positive side, obviously. According to me, the main negative side of this consequence, which will be the disconnected with the world, because we have to remember in the 21st century, when the world is even the African countries also bring in technologies in their education systems, and the whole world is running to the technology for the education purpose. If suddenly India or Indian schools start this the technological system, then obviously the Indian education system can't connect to that world. This is the first thing. And the second thing is obviously what Simran said, the education inequality. We have to remember that the mainly the rural students, so there is many network issues in the rural India. Rural students or tier 2, 3 students can't afford so highly expensive private schools, highly expensive coaching class like the Kota coaching centers, Delhi coaching centers. So online education is like a, you can say, like a brahmastra for them, because in the very low cost and the support of the internet, they can easily access the high level education and education quality materials and lectures through the YouTubes and the other edtech companies. So if the suddenly education schools will be banned the technology, then I hope that it will create a lots of problems, mainly for the uh, economical weaker section. And thirdly, the main problem is it takes lots of time, because if I think that after 5 and 10 years ago, we used dictionary, hard copy dictionary very much, because today I have many softwares in our mobiles, in our laptop to even in the Google Translator to find any word. But after, before the COVID and before the 10 years ago, we have to find many pages for only find out a single word. Another side, if we talk about PIQ, syllabus, uh, after the online education, we have to search many things. We have to go home to home, have to call friends, have to ask for the teachers and the authorities for PIQ, syllabus, and these type of things. But today, for the technological improvement, the every student can easily access this type of things. But the next thing, the exposure. I hope my past speakers also highlighted it. Uh, I here the exposure is very important because I am now in Kolkata and I can easily connect with the Delhi University student, with the students of Mumbai Tata Institute of Social Science by only LinkedIn, this type of application using online notebook. Because you have to remember that outside the classroom, there is many things in the education system. Not only lecture seeing and notes making and giving the exam is not the education system, mainly in the current 21st century. So if the technology suddenly starts, the many students of them, mainly the lower towns and the rural India, face the problem to connect with the highly exposure. But I hope there will be some positive things like critical thinking will be increased because today for the very small things we'll go to the Google, we'll go to the Chat GPT and other tools because we know that we can get the answers in just 10 seconds, 15 seconds. But if there will be no technological advantage, then we have to use our brains. So obviously, it will increase our critical thinking and analytical skills. And last thing is the most important thing: the whole Indian students community is facing this problem. This is the distraction, and the main problem I think that in the online education we have to face many distraction from the every point. So if the technology at least banned on the school level, it will reduce many distraction from the education, and it will help. So at the last, I want to conclude that technology banned is not the solution, but obviously the authorities and government should take action about the ethical control and the utilizing of technology for the better education. Thank you.
Thank you, Avradeep. Anyone with any questions or opinions? Anyone with any questions or opinions? Okay, seeing none, we'll give Vaishnavi a last call because Iksha, Sanika, and Krishna Priya won't be participating today. Vaishnavi, last call. Are you there? Vaishnavi, are you there in the meeting? Please just give a gesture or a chat box something that we know you're present. Okay. Seeing your response, we are done with all the other speakers. I guess Avnish just joined. Hi, Avnish, are you there?
Hello, ma'am. Yes, I just done.
Are you ready with your speech? Can you go ahead?
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, please go ahead.
Do I need to switch on my camera?
Yes, Avnish.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. So the topic today is if technology was banned in India, how would it impact the education system and what would be the alternatives? So we have been so much dependent on technology for almost all our needs, and it has been such an integral part of education system, especially since COVID, that to imagine education system without it is really difficult. And if it were ever to happen that technology was banned in India, we would go back by decades because technology it's an important part. It's deep rooted in many stages of our education, especially if I talk about research, PhD students or people who are involved in research. They are currently using AI tools, and they have constantly have to use information available online. And if technology is banned, all that would be gone. They would have to go back to libraries and have to go back to a pen and paper, have to do their research by that method. And that would take so much of time. So it would decrease the speed by such a large amount. Then there are people who are pursuing distance courses. That would also not be possible without technology. There are remote areas where students are taking courses, those distance learning courses from areas where there are no schools or there are no higher education institutions, and they want to study ahead. Technology plays a huge role to make education accessible to those students, and without it, it's going to be really difficult for them. So, yes, it is going to hamper our education system very severely. But since India has always been Jugadu, I think we can figure out some ways around that. One way could be that we can go back to community teaching. So people can gather in groups and they can teach to each other. That would not require technology. If somebody who is already educated belongs to a village, has been living in, has gotten a chance to study in a city, and if they happen to locate back to where they come from, if it's a remote area, they can start teaching there. That could help. Um, then, since we say that technology is completely banned, I'm assuming that radio and television, all these would also be banned, so that would also not be able to help. Then some other ways could be, uh, yes, books. We would have to go back to libraries, rent books, and buy books. We can also provide a facility of making study materials available in the print format. So that could be one way. But yes, obviously, if educate technology was banned, it would severely affect the education system, and it would not be. We can still work our way around, but it would not be that effective because it's like going back by decades. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Avnish. Anyone with any opinions or questions? Okay, seeing none. Thank
Hello,
you so
ma'am. I have a question to all. It is maybe the open forum question that India also now in the present time is struggling to its education budget. Nearly India is contributing nearly 3 to 4% of the total GDP. So it is also controversial and debating point that India should increase their education budget. But if the technological facilities will be banned, how India manage the high level costs? Because someone state that teachers will be increase their uh, facilities and number of teachers may be also increased for this purpose. So how the government and the whole Indian education system economically adjust uh, this investment in the technology with the current situation? Hello, I hope my question is clear.
Avnish, would you like to answer the question?
I'm sorry, I
Act-
only heard the initial part where you mentioned that India government should focus on increasing the budget. After that, I could not hear you. Could you
so I
repeat
am
that?
repeating again that when the technology will be fully banned, the cost of the teacher teaching stuffs because if the technology is going on, the computers obviously work very effectively than the other teaching stuff, as well as the teachers also using today technologies. Okay, even from the online education, one recorded lecture can cover millions of students in the country. But when suddenly, if the whole technology will be banned in the educational sectors, from the recruitment of teacher, educational system, even the exam conducting, because many high level exam is conducted in CBT mode. Yeah, so how the government will manage the budget with the current situation? Another side, India is also in the debating point that our education budget should increase. So if the technology will be gone, so I hope the budget will also be increased for these things from the classroom development. So how the school authorities and government will manage with it?
I think, yes, technology has definitely made education quite cheaper and accessible to everybody. And if we switch back to paper and pen mode of teaching, that might increase the cost somehow, owing to the fact that we would have to increase the production of books and also to take the material, study material to places where it is where technology where we cannot reach. The technology was able to provide it earlier, but we have to provide that in physical modes, maybe providing physical libraries or teachers traveling to that places by uh, different modes of transport. So yes, I think it might impact uh, the cost, but I don't think I can speak much on how would the budget be allocated then. And I don't think I have much expertise in that area. If somebody else from maybe economics background can enlighten this, that would be great.
All right. Anyone else with any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on. Thank you so much, Avnish and Avrideep. Okay, now the only
Thank
two
you.
speakers we have left are Anjali and Ashna. Anjali, would you like to give your speech?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Please go ahead. Turn on your camera, please. Perfect.
Am I visible, ma'am?
Yes, Anjali, you are.
Okay, so talking about the technology being banned in India, so the education system would suffer like a major loss. It will reverse the years of progress we had. Online classes, educational apps, be it be Byju's, an academy, they would just disappear, making learning less accessible, especially in the rural areas. So we would lose access to online libraries, explanation videos on YouTube, and self-paced courses. We such have so many courses online, and also it will impact the teachers. Also, teacher would struggle with the digital tools, right? Smart boards are just like the integral thing in the classrooms right now. We are not just studying with the blackboards and the chalks. We're studying with the PPTs, access to various platforms in the classroom. So it would just have a whole other impact if we banned technology in India. So yeah, that would skill and development, career oriented learning, that would also be decline. So in short, the banning technology would just cripple the education system. It will limit our opportunities and push the country back at a time when the digital learning is like the key to growth and inclusivity. So I guess banning technology would just cripple the education system, according to me. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Anjali. Anyone with any questions? Seeing none, we move on. Our last speaker would be Ashna. Ashna, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please turn on your camera and go ahead.
Yeah. Am I visible?
Yes, Ashna.
So, good evening, everyone. And as everyone has said before, and although just joined, I couldn't join earlier. So, yeah, I also have the same points as other speakers that banning technology in education would really throw us back many years back. And although yes, we are overly dependent on education and we rely on it, we have adapted to it and integrated in our education system so widely, from smart classrooms online classes, online coaching centers. We have completely integrated it into our system. But somehow, if like the technology is banned, we may have to go back to our Gurukul system, which we used to have ages ago, and like which is similar to the boarding system right now. Uh, yeah, I also agree with Anjali that it would cripple the system. It would only it would like put us back many years. We will not be able to keep up with the globalization, with whatever is happening around us. So yeah, I have only this much to
Thank you so much, Ashna. Anyone with any questions? Okay, seeing none, since we are done with all the speeches, do you guys want to have like a short debate, or do you guys want it to be like some topics or some case-based scenarios are assigned to everyone, and then again we speak like 1 or 2 minutes about it? How would you like to go about? Any suggestions? Anyone? Debate or the case-based scenarios for everyone?
Case-based scenarios, I think.
Okay, Simran. Anyone else?
So, ma'am, these case-based scenarios, would it be like different for everybody or common? That would be-
It will be different for everybody. I have a few cases, but they're a little less as compared to the strength of the meeting. So what I might do is group you guys in like of 2 to 3 people, and then allot cases to all of them.
I think I would like to go with debate now.
Debate.
Others can
Okay,
go.
so now we have one person for debate and another for case-based scenario. Um, we need just one more suggestion because we have a tie here. Anyone else? Just one more suggestion. What would you guys like to have?
Ma'am, I would like to go with debate.
Debate. Okay, then I guess let's go with debate. Again, I'll be. Do you guys want to have a debate among yourselves, like individually, or would it be better if we divide you in like groups of 4 to 5 people and then have a debate on the topic for technology and then one group for non-technology? I guess groups would be better.
Yes, ma'am. I also think that grouping will be better.
Ma'am,
Okay.
one group against the other group, like that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, yeah, great, good, ma'am. It's okay.
Okay. Now before I continue, I need everyone to raise their hand who are present in the meeting and who can contribute to the debate so that I can, allot you guys in groups accordingly. If you are present in the meeting and if you are listening and able to speak, just raise your hand. Guys, if you are present in the meeting,
Actually, ma'am, the hand raise option is not coming in my screen. Maybe some update issues. So I can't raise
okay,
hand
I'll
by
consider
this
you.
feature.
I'll consider
Uh,
you.
yes,
Um,
ma'am, same is the issue with my screen too.
all right, Avnish and Avradeep. Okay, perfect. So we have 5 people. Anyone else who's present in the meeting, just raise your hand. No one else is present in the meeting. You all have joined the meeting and left it off after that. Okay, great, Latika. Um, no, just keep your hands raised until I allot you guys in groups. Don't lower your hands down. Anyone who's present in the meeting, just keep your hands raised until I allot you all in groups. Okay, so we have 7 people for now. Kajal, Kajal, if you could join, we'll have four people on both the teams, and it can be fair.
I actually am busy right now, so I cannot have a full-on debate.
No, it will only be for 5 to 10 minutes since you are present in the meeting. Just contribute for 10 minutes. I myself will end it at like 7:55 or 8 o'clock max.
Okay, fine.
Okay, perfect. Then in that case, we have 8 people. I'll allot the teams now. Group A. No, keep your hands raised. Keep your hands raised. Just wait. Whose hand? Yeah, Latika. Okay. Group A would be Ashna, Simran, Deepika, and Latika. Okay, remember your groups Ashna, Simran, Deepika, and Latika. Group B would be Deepavali, Kajal, Avnish, and Avradi. Deepavali, Kajal, Avnish, and Avradi will be the group B, and rest will be the group A.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, who would like to go with the topic of like technology being banned? Group A or Group B? You can all raise your hands down now since the groups are allotted. Okay. Now, who would like to go with the topic of technology being banned and that there's no use of technology and that we can go ahead with our education without technology? Group A or Group B?
Ma'am,
Uh,
personally, I want to go with the technology.
Avideep, your group wants to go with having technology.
Yes, ma'am. Having technology.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So, Group B, you will have the topic of having technology, and Group A, you will be against technology, right? So, Group B will be for technology, and Group A will be against. Any one speaker who can start from Group A or B? Anyone? Anyone would like to start? Guys, we need participation. There's no point of conducting this otherwise.
Ma'am, may I?
Sure, Ashna, please go ahead. Ashna, I guess you're from Group A, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Group A is starting. Ashna, go ahead.
I may not have valid points if that is okay. I mean, I'm not really sure.
Okay, it's just a debate for all of us to learn and listen to each other. So that's okay.
Okay. So I believe that we can survive without technology as well because many schools in our country, especially government schools, especially of the rural areas, have limited or no access to technology. Yet we see many students, like there are students over there who pursue higher education as well. They strive for learning and education and for themselves to have a better future. So yeah, we do. We can say that in India we have examples of like learning, getting education without technology or with limited technology.
I think, see, in today's world, technology is no longer a luxury. It is, in fact, a necessity. If we talk about technology not being important in education, I think we are uh, we are going to make India lag behind other countries on a global scale, and that might severely impact India's image. Today, people from India, students from India are hired by companies abroad, and that is because of the education quality we have here. And if we just outright ban technology in education sector, that will impact the quality of education and the quality of our youth and our future workforce. I think no, technology should not be banned, and in fact, it should only be encouraged in education.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Simran.
I don't understand. What are we talking about? Like group A, is it in favor or the opposition?
Group A is in the opposition of technology. Group B is in the favor of technology.
Can I be in group B then?
The groups have already been allotted, Simran. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, you need to be ready with that's all the on the spot debates are about. You need to analyze it immediately and think immediately. So we are doing this to provoke our thoughts and to open our minds. No one is judging. We are all here to listen and learn. But we need to start thinking and open our minds, right? So if Avnish said something, the other group members should be listening and they should be ready with questions and with counterbacks, right? So you need to be able to think on the spot. So now anyone from group A who has a counterback for Avnish, please go ahead. You don't need to raise your hands here. It's a debate. You can just go ahead and discuss.
Yeah, so if we weigh the contribution of technology in the advancement or in the development of education system, we also have to look at the cons over here, because we see that there's a lot of distraction due to technology, and uh, we see that students no more have the critical thinking that they need. We can just bug up stuff and just prepare for the exams. We don't have the aspect of practical learning in our education system anymore. So, if technology is banned, then maybe more emphasis would be given to practical learning, and students may also not have that distraction coming in between their education.
That is great, Latika.
I feel distraction and discipline depends on a particular person. It does not necessarily mean that we should have a traditional learning method. Like if we take example of the Byju's or an academy, millions of students are studying from there. They are using the technology in the best way that is possible. So I think the concept of distraction that the speakers before me have talked about, it solely depends from person to person. And technology plays a major role in education system, and it provides a kind of exposure and learning, especially internationally. You can take part in various events, organizations, and this has been only possible through the advent of technology and digital literacy, especially uh, with the introduction of AI and automation. Learning has been become a more has been improved a lot because we have a wide range of arguments and opinion, which can lead to more critical thinking. uh, like if we take a traditional environment, we have less number of people and our opinion are in a closed space, but with technology and its expansion, we have more number of people to expand our views and opinion. So that's what I think about it.
I think the overuse of internet has also led to the over independency of the students on internet and everything. As Kajal mentioned, AI is being overused, and people, especially the students, are overly dependent on AIs and are not independently thinking and are not self-reliant anymore. Along with that, students' privacy is also being misused, as educational apps and platforms are often seen collecting students' personal data and misusing the information of the students, and that's a big threat
Hello.
to their privacy.
Anyone else who has to say anything?
Also, I would like to say that even before COVID times, we did not had so much access to smartphones and technology and all. But after COVID, this has arisen so much, and we got access to that. So now the scenario is that we are thinking that without technology, we can't even study or this or that. But just because we have that thing in our hands right now, that's why we are very used to it. But before we were doing it without technology only. We were able to solve our questions and whatever. We were not just picking up phones for every minute doubts we had.
Yeah, great, Deepika. Now, because of time constraints, we might have to cut this debate short, but we'll definitely have another one in the next session where we'll have longer time, right? This was an
Ma'am,
amazing debate.
ma'am, I have a simple example.
Please go ahead.
Uh, Now India is the from the car accident ratio, India is maybe in the top in the world. So are we banning the all car in the road? No, obviously not. But we are developing our car, using airbags, striking the traffic rules, and giving proper training, giving proper disclaimer about how to use properly the cars. Uh, we can compare it with the technology. Maybe technology is creating many problems, reducing our attentions, reducing our analytical thinking. But main problem is how we are using the technology is most important rather than the banning this.
Thank you so much, Avradeep. Okay, now just a small suggestion on the debate. Although all of you were really awesome, the counterbacks were also great, even for the people who were against Group A, who were against technology. They tried their best, and the counterbacks were actually really good. But in on those spot debates, right, you should have your mind open and you should think instantly. When I thought of the debate, okay, now we all can agree to the fact that banning technology would, hinder the process of inclusivity in education, and that not everyone might have access to studying material and reading material. So what people could have said here is, the people who really need to be benefiting from technology, like the rural people who cannot afford to go to school, they are getting like nothing. They are not being included in technology and they don't even have the resources. On the other hand, people in urban areas who are already able to go to school, who can already collaborate with the teachers and with their peer groups around them, who do not really need technology to be able to access education that effectively, have a lot of access and will have a lot of resources. So this inequality and this digital divide could have been mentioned, and it could have been said that complete tech ban in the education sector would really, would not impact the urban people, but we should have policies for the rural people to be, having resources for technology as well, because people who don't really have access to infrastructure and school resources should have access to at least technology. So people who are already in urban area having technology or does not having technology in the school, it won't be a big difference for them. Because banning technology in education does not mean you are completely cutting access of urban people from technology. Students will obviously come home and then be on their laptops and computers, considering the 21st century we are in. Right? So the topic was banning technology in education in the schools. At homes, they'll still have access to technology, so it won't really affect the urban people, but the rural people will get affected, and we need to find a way for technology to be accessible to them. Then the counterbacks for technology being distracting and stuff was really great, because yes, half of the urban population and teens and millennials are distracted by technology, right? So yeah, people who don't really need technology in schools, they're having a lot of access. People who don't, they like people who do need access, they don't have at all. So that is something which could have been considered, but that's okay. I guess we all had our opinions and we all participated well. So it was a great session and it was really fruitful for me. I hope it was really fruitful for all of you as well. Thank you all for your contributions and everything. I really enjoyed the session. Now I guess we can conclude the session. And if everyone who does not have anything to say can leave, can start leaving. I guess we have no one, then we can all start leaving. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Good night.